Magical Ascension, y'all. My name is Jessica. I also go by the name Zenbei. There's many names that I go by, honestly, but mainly I'll be saying my name. I'll be referring my name as Zenbei on this YouTube platform. So, welcome to my YouTube channel. Once again, my name is Zenbei. I am a life coach, and I am here to talk about how to know that you have ascended or how to know that you shifted into a new identity. So you worked on yourself, right? You've been doing so much work on yourself. You've been elevating, you've been doing the work, right? To ascend and to be in a new identity. How do you know that you're in a new identity? Does it happen overnight? Does it happen in a few weeks? You won't know until these three things happen. Number one, your habits have changed. Now, let's say, for example, you used to be a person that would sit around and doom scroll, like literally all day long, right? But now you found yourself working out instead of doom scrolling. You find yourself meal prepping. You find yourself organizing your week, writing to-do lists, getting things done. You find yourself cleaning your house. You find yourself organizing your room or organizing the kitchen, putting things in order. These are just a few examples. So instead of sitting there doom scrolling, you actually use your time wisely to be productive, either productive or in your creativity, right? This was me. I remember when I first manifested one of my new identities was when I wrote down my new identity. I said, these are the things that I will be doing in my new identity. So it's the same thing for you. What are the things that you tell yourself? What are the new habits that you give yourself once you are in your new identity? You won't know until you see yourself doing it, right? I just gave a few examples. Work out. Instead of doom scrolling, I now work out. Meal prep, clean my room, clean the house, organize the house. I go outside. I spend more time being present. I use my time for creativity. I use my time for creating new projects and so on and so forth. Okay. So once again, that was number one, your habits are different. Your habits have changed. Number two, your mindsets have shift. How do you know that your mindset has shift? Well, as I said, you've been doing the work on yourself, right? You've been pouring into yourself, you've been training yourself or relearning how to do new things or relearning how to set new intentions or new mindsets for yourself, right? New say, reciting affirmations all the time, um, journaling, and with your new mindset, how do you think of a situation instead of how you used to set how you used to think of a situation? I'm going to use this example, for example. Let's say you've been working on yourself, right? So because you worked on yourself and you've been working a lot on your mindset, you have been let's say you've been shifting your old identity, which is your old identity, you used to have a lack mindset, right? Now your new mindset, you're over here thinking abundant. Everything works out for me. Everything always happens in divine timing. Everything happens perfectly, right? Instead of, I don't know. But if I do this, what if? What if this doesn't work out? Well, I don't know. I'm a little fearful, right? So you go from that old mindset into a new abundant mindset. How do you know that your mindset have shift? For example, you can be, as I was saying in the beginning, you have worked on yourself. So you took yourself out of a certain environment, you stopped talking to certain people. And now that there's a day, right? Let's say you spend about 6 months, you work on yourself. And then within these 6 months, you go no contact, you don't really talk to anybody, you're just pouring into yourself, right? Then you find yourself going back to old environment, to a group of friends that you used to hang out with. And now you realize, right? You're at the table, let's say y'all out, y'all having lunch, right? You have a lunch date and your friends are talking, they chattering it up, and you're just realizing, hold up, the way that they're talking and their mindset, you recognize that I know I'm no longer there, right? I no longer think that way. I would say, for example, friend letter A, it says, well, I know that in order for me to have a lot of money, I have to work extra hard. I got to work two, three, four jobs in order to make that big money. But your new mindset is, money flows to me effortlessly. And I know that all I have to do is be in my divine feminine energy, be in my creative energy, and money flows to me, right? Just an example. Letter B, or friend letter B says, you know what? In order for me to get this thing, I am going to have to like really bust my behind in order to get this, right? Whereas you with this new mindset, you're like, I don't have to bust my behind to do anything because I already know what's already mine is already on its way to me. There's nothing that can't stop me. There's nothing that can stop whatever that is mine from coming to me, right? There's nothing that I am going to do to stop that because what's mine is already mine. It's already on its way to me, right? There's nothing that can go wrong. It's already mine. So you see that mindset shift? Once you place yourself in old environments that you used to hang around, like with people that you used to hang around, you will notice that your mindset has shifted from theirs. And that doesn't mean that you are better than them. You're not. It just shows that you have shifted, your mindset have shifted into a higher frequency. Now, is it your job to help pull your other people up with you? I mean, you can, but it's not your job to fix people. Now, you can say, for example, as I use friend letter A, was talking about how she had to work several jobs in order to make this kind of money. Now, if you are the person with the mindset that money flows to you effortlessly and all you got to do is be in your creativity, all you have to do is to do what you love and to be in your purpose, then you can say that. You can say that to friend letter A and say, hey, you know what? I used to have that mindset. There was a time in life where I used to feel that way. I used to feel like I had to be in survival mode all the time. I had to work two, three jobs in order to make, the money that I was looking to make. But you know what, friend? This is what I've been doing, and this is what's working for me. So I invite you to sit with yourself, right? And to find out what is your purpose, like what is it that you love to do. Now if you find yourself talking to friend letter A like this, right, and friend letter A is just not receptive, friend letter A is like, oh, whatever, you're always in la la land and fairy tale land thinking, things like life doesn't work out for me like that, so I don't want to hear it. Stop talking. Let that person be in the frequency that they are in. One of the things I had to learn in life is that not everybody wants to ascend. Some people are absolutely comfortable with being where they are, and that's okay. Okay, that's okay. Just respect that. And simply respect that person wish. If they say, hey, it doesn't work out for me, they just, shut you off. It's okay. Stop talking. Change the subject. Talk about something else, right? Or sometimes we can um Sometimes, excuse me, sometimes the person cannot be in receptive mode because of whatever situation, right? So that was key number two. Key number three is your behavior change. Have you ever had, hmm, have you ever known somebody that just, instead of talking, they bark? And I'm not talking about barking like a dog. I'm talking about like they yell. They yell and they just feel like they always have to prove a point. They always have to be loud and oh, my way is the correct way. I need to be correct all the time. Let's say in the past, when the person would get this way, it would trigger you, right? You would get upset. You would yell back with the person like, "Oh, why you gotta be loud and this and that?" Y'all going back and forth. But now the person is reacting, right? The person is behaving the way that they are, yelling, bickering. They just got to be right. They have to prove a point. Their way is the correct way. And you're just sitting back. You're observing. You allow the person to express themselves and you simply observe instead of absorbing, right? That's how you know that you have shift. You no longer react to what the person is saying. You no longer however way the person is behaving, it no longer triggers you. You're simply observing their behaviors and you're like, okay, if you have something to say, you say it very calmly. Sometimes you may not even say anything at all. So instead of reacting, you respond, right? Let's use another example. Hmm. A person says, uh, a person says something that used to trigger you. I'm going to use myself for example. Now, I come from the Haitian culture. I am a plus size queen, plus size goddess, right? And sometimes, most of the time, the Haitian culture, people just say exactly how they feel. So, a long time ago in the past, they would say, "Oh, look at this big woman," whatever. They'll say it in Creole. I feel like when things are said in Creole, it's like way worse than saying it in English. But anyways, I don't want to say way worse, but it sounds more aggressive. However, let's just say a person comes up to me, a aunt of mine comes up to me. She's like, "Oh my God, gotta go sell." That means, "Oh my God, look how big you are" in Creole, right? I'm just gonna look at her and be like, "Okay, yeah, I know I'm big. I'm beautiful too. Like, how you doing? How you feeling today?" You see how I responded to that? I didn't react, right? My past self in the future, now if my aunt would have come up to me and said, "Oh, Miss Amiga de Gosa, oh my goodness, look how big you are," I would have been furious. I would have been pissed off. Why? Because it was an insecurity of mine. But now I am secure in who I am and I love my body, right? So she says that to me now, I'll be like, "Okay, yeah, big and beautiful. How you doing? How you been? How you feeling today?" You see how I no longer react, right? I just respond. I respond calmly, quietly, lowering my voice just to have the person. It's like you're recentering that person, right? In that moment, they get recentered and they're like, "Oh wow, okay." It's to a point where they're like, "Okay, well, she knows who she is," or "Oh wow, it no longer really triggers her." Sometimes too, I'm gonna say, sometimes a person may not even know that they're triggering you, right? Unless you say it, or unless if you told the person, "Hey, I don't like when you say that," but they keep doing it. That's what you call gaslighting. But anyways, that's another topic. But um, so yeah, your behavior has changed. Or let's say, for example, you have an old friend that just likes to, push the buttons, because we all know somebody that likes to push buttons. Before, when the person is sitting there pushing buttons, it would irritate your soul. It will work your nerves. You would feel like your blood is boiling. You're about to burst. You're about to go off on this person, right? Next time around, the person behaves the same way because most of the time, sometimes people just don't change, and that's okay, once again. Just learn to uh, hold space for people and honestly wish them well, right? But person is, gaslighting, whatever, just pushing buttons, pushing your buttons and trying to piss you off. And you simply see it, you observe it, and you respond differently. Hey, you know something? If you don't have anything positive to tell me, or if there's nothing, you know, is there if there's not any good news that you have to share with me, please don't text me, right? Or please don't reach out to me. And sometimes when you respond differently too, you can either A, choose to respond like that to simply, set the boundaries with the person, or B, just not respond at all because sometimes silence is golden, right? But just by responding differently, sometimes it make the person take a step back and like, oh wow, okay. They actually sit back and they think about it. They think about what they just did. Sometimes they're not uh courageous enough to say, you know what, I'm wrong. I did come at you wrong, and I apologize. Some people are not emotionally intelligent enough to even realize that. And that's okay. Once again, you know, it's all about giving people grace and placing those boundaries, placing boundaries with people that you see who are just not vibrationally in the same frequency as you are. And once again, that's okay because this is duality, right? In order in order for us to be living this life, there has to be duality. There's going to be people that are still vibrating at the same frequency that they choose to remain in, which you used to be there too. And then there's a handful of people who are vibrating at a higher frequency, who are doing the work, who are, working on their self and changing their mindsets, switching their mindsets from lack to abundance, switching their habits from sitting there on the couch doom scrolling all day into now being productive, taking care of their body, taking care of their health, prioritizing their health. Instead of eating processed foods, instead of ordering junk food, now they're actually in the kitchen, they're cooking healthy home cooked meals, right? Behavior change, instead of lashing out and going off on people like you would, now you just simply just take a step back and you observe the situation. You're like, okay, most of the time too, I want to say that when people are sitting there and just bickering, lashing, going off, just miserable, most of the time they're just expressing how they feel about themselves. If you really take a step back and you take a listen, you really listen to what people are saying, they're talking about their self. They're expressing their self. It's not about you, right? So that's how I learned to stop reacting. Instead, I respond. Or sometimes silence is golden. So these are the three keys or the three steps or the three the three I don't want to say like the main three things, but these are the three things that you will become aware of when you realize you have shifted. Keep pouring into yourself, queen or king, whoever's watching, keep pouring into yourself, keep working on your identity, and choose to be the best version of yourself. Because in this beautiful world that we live in, you can choose to either be, to remain the way that you were with all of the experiences that you made. Let's say you didn't have any good experiences or whatnot. You can choose to keep vibrating there, or you can choose to relearn your experiences, right? Or to, excuse me, not relearn your experiences, but you can learn to recreate new experiences and better experiences for yourself. So, my name is Zenbei. Once again, if you resonate with anything I said in this video, leave your comment down below. Tell me what is one of the things that you resonated with, or if you resonated with everything. Do you feel like you have shifted? Do you see like the three things that I listed? Do you resonate with them? Are you currently there? All right. Thank you for tuning in. My name once again is Zembe, or you could call me Jess, whatever. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Talk to you soon. Peace.